understood about what is an hypervisor, the types of, did we discuss about types of hypervisor?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So we'll see like types of hypervisors. Okay. So So basically there are two types of hypervisor. Type 1 hypervisor, which is also called bare metal hypervisor. Type 2 hypervisor, called hosted hypervisor. Hosted hypervisor and bare metal hypervisor. Now we understood like hypervisor basically split the underlying hardware resources into virtual resources. Okay. We'll see what is the difference and how it works. Very, very important when you are, some interview guys will be asking 1 or 2 questions about these hypervisors to understand how, instead of like you are doing your daily work, are you aware of basic things, what happens in the background of this technology, to understand whether how much capable you are. They will ask questions like this. Okay, so this is a physical server. Okay, and now, so in type 1 hypervisor, so type 2, so here the hypervisor will be directly installed in the hardware. This hypervisor can talk to hardware directly. On top of this, we create virtual machines. We'll have OS like Windows/Linux. And here the applications will run like SAP, Oracle database, something like etc. Applications will be running here on top of Windows or Linux virtual machines. Okay. So this type 1 hypervisor will directly communicate with physical hardware here. Okay. In type 1. Here type 2 hypervisor cannot communicate with hardware directly. It needs some other operating system help to talk to the underlying hardware. On top of the Windows. Here the business applications like SAP database is supposed to install, but we don't use this. Fine. Okay. So here the type 2 hypervisor cannot talk to the physical hardware directly. It needs some other operating system help to talk to the underlying physical hardware. Okay. Type 2 hypervisor cannot communicate with the underlying hardware directly. It needs some other operating system help. Here type 1 hypervisor can directly communicate with hardware. That's why hypervisor is directly communicating with the physical server. Okay, physical server in the sense like a computer, physical computer. Okay, physical computer is made up of iron, okay, metal. That's why it's named it as bare metal, directly on the metal. Bare in the sense directly, okay, direct communication. So directly on the metal, it can communicate. Okay, hypervisor can communicate with metal directly. That's why they named it as bare metal or type 1 hypervisor. Here, hypervisor cannot communicate with hardware directly. It has to communicate via another operating system support. So now we'll see what are the examples of type 1 and type 2. You tell me if you know any hypervisor which is type 1. ESXi are type 1 hypervisors. As discussed yesterday, ESX and ESXi will be directly installed on a physical server. Okay, so this will be directly installed. So Microsoft is saying we are also type 1. But Hyper-V is not an operating system, or it is not able to directly communicate with hardware. It need any Windows or Linux operating system. So Hyper-V is basically Microsoft feature. First, we have to install Windows Server operating system, then enable a feature called Hyper-V. Okay. In terms of Hyper-V, I'm talking about Hyper-V only, the Microsoft hypervisor Hyper-V. Microsoft developed server virtualization product or a virtualization product Hyper-V. So if you want to install Hyper-V, there is nothing like Hyper-V separate OS like ESX or ESXi. It is a feature inside a Windows OS. That means it is taking Windows help to function as a Hyper-V. Okay, so that's why many people consider it as a type 2 hypervisor, but Microsoft says so Windows is also my operating system, and Hyper-V is just even though if it is a feature, that is the only feature users in Windows, and Windows is my OS only. I have developed that for Hyper-V. So they themselves they say state as type 1. So we don't need to worry about that argument. Let it be like type 1 hypervisor only. Okay, so not a problem. Okay, type 1 hypervisors, ESX and ESXi Hyper-V. There are multiple other examples. We'll see them like the next biggest competitor. Type 2 is called workstation. There is a software called workstation. It's an example of type 2 hypervisor. Oracle VirtualBox. This is also one of the software which we. So these like workstation software or Oracle VirtualBox software also will create virtual machines, and we will be able to work with applications. But these applications will not directly will be installed on a laptop or desktop. It's not possible. On physical servers also it's not possible. We need to have some other operating system. If you want to install VMware Workstation software is developed by VMware. VMware Workstation. Product name itself VMware Workstation. This product, if you want to install, you need to have a Windows 7 or Windows 10 operating system in your laptop. On top of it, you install Workstation software. Using that Workstation software, you can, if you have like RAM 16 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM on your laptop, using that RAM and CPU, we can create virtual computers on your laptop also. Okay, so that's where basically we comes under lab options. We'll discuss lab options soon. Okay. So if you have laptop with 16 GB, we can do all your lab in your laptop itself. Okay. So basically on a Windows 10 laptop, we'll install Workstation. On top of that, we create virtual computers. So your laptop also we can create virtual computers. But this type 2 is mostly used on our personal side only, like us. If you want like 2-3 computers, you don't have enough budget to purchase 2-3 computers, buy one laptop only, install this Workstation, and we can create on your buy laptop with a 12 or 16 GB RAM, okay, i5 processor, then install Windows 7 or Windows 10, then install an application called Workstation. Okay, then create virtual computers on top of it. In your laptop itself, we can create 2-3 virtual computers. Just for personal end, okay, just for learning purpose, it will be useful. It is not used in corporate infrastructure. It is not used for business applications. So applications like this cannot be run here. Okay. So why they can't run here? We'll see the difference. So here the application is running here, something like when you are sending an instruction, what is 10 plus 10 via calculator application. Application means SAP, Oracle, calculator, whatever kind of applications that we use. So this instruction via application, where this instruction should get executed on the physical processor. Physical processor is here. If you want to execute this instruction has to pass the operating system layer. Here it has to cross this operating system layer, then it has to cross hypervisor layer, then reach the hardware. Then only it can reach the physical processor. Here it will execute what is the 10 plus 10. Then output also the same. It will go back by crossing 2 layers and output will be displayed here. In type 1 hypervisor, basically the execution happens in this way. The applications will process the data, so it has to cross this Windows or Linux OS layer, and it has to cross hypervisor layer, then it will execute on the hardware. Okay, so the output is also the same way. It has to, when you are executing some work here, it has to cross 2 layers and then reach hardware. Here if you see type 2, when you are executing the same instruction from here, okay, type 2 hypervisor, it has to cross this operating system layer here, hypervisor layer here, and one more operating system layer it has to cross. Then only it can reach the physical hardware. Okay, here execute the instruction, then return the output back after crossing all these 3 layers. Clear? So even though there is a difference, just a layer here, one layer only difference. Here there are 2 layers, here there are 3 layers. But the performance impact will be, the performance difference will be very much huge. Let's say here you are able to execute a work in just a minute. Here it will be executed the same work in 5 minutes. That much difference will be there. Even though there is a difference of 1 layer here, but the performance variation will be very huge. If you are able to execute a work in 1 minute here, it will take 4 to 5 minutes here. That's why nobody will be ready to use this kind of type 2 hypervisor. This is only for personal use, and people like us will use as a learning end. In the corporate infrastructure, to run their business application, people will be using type 1 always. Here, understood the difference between type 1 and type 2 or bare metal versus hosted hypervisor. Hosted in the sense the hypervisor is taking someone else's help, or it is hosted on another operating system. Clear? Very, very important, just for your knowledge. So anybody, whoever asks at any point of time, you will be able to answer this. If you have any question, please let me know. Here, type 1 and type 2 hypervisor, which is bare metal and hosted hypervisor. Any questions? Fine. Now we will go back to our basic VMware in technology now again. Okay, so we have a laptop here. Okay, there is a physical server installed with, this is a physical server. Installed with ESXi operating system. and some virtual machines are running here. Okay, like this. VM, let's say. Okay, some different VMs are running here. Okay, we have our laptop here. Laptop or desktop, we are sitting here. And we have an ESXi machine here and running with some virtual machine. If someone comes to you and asks like, hey, can you power off my VM 87? Okay, basically using a web browser, we connect to this ESXi machine and try to power off this virtual machine VM 87. Let's say, what if you have too many number of ESXi machines like this? Their VMs names also will differ again. Okay, same names will not be there. We'll be using a different names. Something like different VMs are created. So if someone is coming to you and asking, can you power on? We'll see your IP address also. Like this, we have multiple ESXi machines like this. When someone is coming to you and asking, can you power on, power off my virtual machine? Using our laptop, we connect to first ESXi machine 240. In the browser, enter this network address. We will see what is this network address, how it comes here. Okay, where we get username and password later. So take this IP network address, enter it from your browser, you enter that address and connect to this machine and see if that VM67 it is there. No, it's not there. Then again, use browser to connect to this machine. It's not there. Connect to this machine like. So if there are like 100 ESXi machines like this, there are too many virtual machines and 100 ESXi hosts are there. Okay, we have to find by connecting to each machine and we have to check that. Okay, fine. So it will be very headache for the administrator who is working here. So to find where the VM is running itself, it will take 1 hour or 2 hours to identify where is it is. If there is a problem, then how to fix it? To fix it, it will take 2-3 hours again. Fine. So using a browser only from our laptop, we connect to the ESXi machines based on the network address. Now, to minimize the time to identify the virtual machine type to where they are running and all, so they have VMware has developed an application. Okay, they have developed an application called vCenter, Virtual Center. It's simply called VC, Virtual Center, where any application will be installed on which component? Where will we generally install the applications? Operating system, Windows or Linux. Basically, here the operating should be either Windows or Linux operating system. Applications will be always installed on a Windows or Linux operating system. Where will we install the operating system?
Virtual machine, sir.
Yes, virtual machine or physical machine. Can be virtual or physical. Physical machine in the sense physical server or physical computer. Virtual machine or physical machine. Okay, physical machine in the sense laptop or desktop or server. So basically, business applications always we install on servers instead of laptops. So it is a physical server or virtual machine. Virtual server or physical server. On top of it, we'll install with Windows or Linux operating system. On top of that, any application, whatever you want to install, our vCenter application also will be installed on machine like this. Now, once this machine is ready, it will have its own IP address. In our lab, it's 200. It will have its own network address. Now, once this machine is ready with this application, who will install this application? VMware administrator like us only. We will only check which version of vCenter we need to install, like 5, 6 or 7. Then we'll see to install 6, which OS is needed, which is best. We will install that. Then we install basically on a virtual machine only. Instead of physical machine, we install it on always on a virtual computer. 95% cases, virtual center is a virtual machine only in the across worldwide.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry, Ashok. By the time you speak, I muted you. Unmute yourself and speak.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Sir, actually, vCenter, before that vCenter, we installed only in physical machine only, right? How could we again virtual machine?
No.
We are going to
Virtual center application you can install on a Windows or Linux operating system. This is an application.
Okay, in OS we install in lab only, right?
OS?
OS, Windows or Linux, we install in lab only, right? In physical machine only, right, sir?
No, that's what we have virtual computers, virtual machines. This OS
sir,
virtual machine.
Why we install App Center to connect the virtual machines only? We install vCenter, right?
Which center? I didn't get you completely.
vCenter, sir. vCenter.
Okay, vCenter application.
The purpose of vCenter we install to connect the VMs only, right?
No.
Different VMs to bind up VMs. Right?
No, not yet. I'm not yet completed. Please wait for that. You will come to know it. So we have a virtual machine installed with Windows or Linux. It's our choice. We can choose any operating system. Then install vCenter application. Once it is installed, we can register ESXi host here. We can add our ESXi machine to this application. Now, this is one-time task. Adding an ESXi machine into the vCenter is one-time task. Okay, you add it once, it will be there until we manually remove it again and add another machine. So you need to add all the ESXi machines, whichever you have in your environment. You add all the ESXi machine to one vCenter. This vCenter application. This application, vCenter application, has a capability to register these ESXi machines. That's how it is designed and developed by VMware. Okay, now we can see multiple ESXi machines from the vCenter itself. But how to connect to this vCenter? Using the same web browser from our laptop. Directly you connect to this IP address. Instead of earlier, we were directly using a web browser here. Using a web browser, we used to directly connect to the ESXi machines like this. Individually, like all 100 ESXi machines, we have to connect and see where it is. So that was very headache and time-taking process. So using the same web browser, now you connect to the vCenter machine. So the machine, whatever the IP address is assigned with and running with vCenter application, you enter that IP network address in the browser. We will see how it will be assigned here, which address we have to take, which address we have to consider, and all those things. Okay. So you enter this network address and the browser. This is also deployed by VMware admin like us, so we know that what is the address given here and username and password. Okay, it's you or your team member will share the details with you. Okay, once you connect to this vCenter machine from a web browser, you will be able to see all the ESXi machines and all the virtual machines from one interface itself. From one web page only, you can see all of them instead of individually you manage them. Instead of let's say there are 100 ESXi machine like that. Instead of having 100 different tabs, opening a tab, connect here, another open, another connect to another host like this. Instead of having 100 tabs like this, from one tab itself, we can manage all the ESXi machines and also all the virtual machines which are running on all the 100 ESXi machines. 100 is a just number. For example, I'm taking, I'll give you the maximum number.
So actually, how we can see the virtual machines like through host and from host to virtual machines, or directly virtual machines will be there without host?
Good question. We see both, like from host only. Without host, we cannot see VMs. Host and top of virtual machines, both will be visible. We can see this ESXi and these virtual machines also. He was asking me just only we added this ESXi host here. Only these VMs will be listed there? No, it's like both ESXi and virtual machines all will be listed there. Okay.
Yes.
Ashok, are you clear now?
So still
Like you, to confirm you, we need to connect to lab, but right now lab is not working.
One more question. Actually, what is the purpose of this vCenter? Like only to view this multiple hosts, or we can perform any other task in this vCenter, or what exactly we can do in this vCenter?
There are entire all our course content I have shared, right? There are multiple features, like if you see migrations, vMotion, SVMotion, HA, DRS, working with virtual machines. So all our technical work will be from vCenter only. You will come to know all the features, all our work, what we do there, adding storage, network, patching, lot of other stuff will be there. Our daily work will be from that.
It means vCenter will manage everything.
Correct. Exactly.
That's what.
Exactly.
Sir, I have one note, sir. Actually, I didn't connect to first vCenter. Sir, vCenter where we install, sir. Actually,
this is vCenter application is also installed on one virtual machine, and if this virtual machine can be on any one of the ESXi machine here, or dedicatedly there is a physical machine installed with ESXi, dedicated ESXi also we can prefer.
we are not installing in laptop, right?
No, this application is not not installed on your laptop. Your laptop is this is your laptop.
Yes.
This is outside. This is a different machine. Like us, okay, many administrators will connect to it.
vCenter also one of the virtual machine, right?
Yeah,
Sorry,
this
vCenter also one of the virtual machine, right?
exactly. This is vCenter also is one of the virtual machine that can be running any one of the host tools itself.
Okay, host means ESXi, right, sir?
Yeah, host means ESXi. I'll come to that naming standards because I'm habited. I'm just saying that host and guest. We'll discuss that also. Yes, it is also running on one of the ESXi machine.
Then vCenter is managing everything, whatever we created different virtual machines, it will manage, like you said, migration, something.
Correct, exactly. We can do a lot of other stuff. All our course content we always connect to vCenter and do that. All the tasks which comes under our lab, so we'll do from vCenter only.
Thank you, sir.
So to confirm, like if you had a connect to lab, it would have been better clear for you. I mean, you would have understood better. Some reason lab is not working. I'll fix it today. But we can manage multiple ESXi hosts from one vCenter itself. So once you connect to this vCenter from a web browser, you can manage any virtual machine or any ESXi host which is registered. Okay. So one vCenter, you can connect maximum 2000 ESXi hosts. And right now latest version 35,000 virtual machines. VMs we don't need to worry. Host is mandatory. So maximum 2000 ESXi host we can register in one vCenter itself. Okay, but it doesn't mean like there is a company with 20 ESXi host, but we'll be using two vCenters also. Okay, depends on the design. Let's say they have two branches. One branch is in UK.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, we can create so many vCenters, sir.
Yeah, we can create multiple vCenters also.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say. Like if there are two branches, UK and US. In UK there are 10 ESXi machines. US also there are 10 ESXi machines. Instead of having one vCenter for all of them, we will use two vCenter. One vCenter for UK region, one vCenter for US region. And also it depends on customer budget also. If we recommend, we design such a way, but customer should have that much budget to buy licenses from VMware. Two vCenter means they need to pay two different money. Like if there is one vCenter, less money. Okay, but we cannot manage ESXi hosts from different geographical locations. If it is nearby, at least we can manage.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Without this vCenter, we can't do DRS, HA,
No,
these things, clusters.
no, it's not possible.
Okay, fine.
So this like designing of how many vCenters we need and all will come later in the design part, like which is you need to get like 4 to 5 years of experience, then you get into designing phase. Okay, then you will come to know about like how many vCenters we need to place, where we need to place vCenter, we need to place on a dedicated ESXi for vCenter, or can we put it here only? So those things and all you don't need to worry at this stage. So it comes after like 5 to 6 years of experience.
Sir, one more question. Like in the previous paint you have shown, with one vCenter we can connect to 2000 ESXs.
Yes.
With the new version we can connect to 35,000 VMs.
Yes.
So it's like ESXi, each ESXi will have multiple VMs also, right, sir?
Yes.
So in terms of with the new version, in terms of how many ESXi we can connect instead of 35,000 VMs, it's a VM or EX?
You forget about this number now. Are you clear now?
Yes.
Fine, leave it for now here only. We will see about the maximum counts later. Okay, so at the end, like I'll give a table from one vCenter, how many, what are the features that we can maximum manage. All the maximums we'll discuss later. So I don't want to confuse all you guys. So one vCenter, we can manage multiple ESXi manage. To quickly answer you, I don't want to leave your question as it is. So 2000 ESXi hosts, one ESXi machine may be running 100 virtual machines. Another ESXi machine may be running 50 VMs. So all together, maximum 35,000 VMs we can manage. Either all 35,000 may be running on 2000 ESXi host or maybe 200 ESXi hosts. Doesn't matter. Maximum 35,000 virtual machines.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Any other questions? Good. Now we understood about vCenter. We understood about ESXi. We understood about virtual machine. why we use respective components. And here we are using a web browser to manage everything. Okay. Now this entire thing is called vSphere. VMware is just a company who has developed this product. It is just an organization. vSphere is the product name. Under this product, these are the components. Virtual center, centralized management interface for multiple ESXi or VMS. ESXi, it's a physical server. It's called host as well. We'll see what does that mean. Physical server with an ESXi OS installed in it. Virtual machine, a software computer generated with a software. Web client, nothing but browser. Okay, vCenter, virtual center, centralized management interface for multiple ESXi's or virtual machines. ESXi, a physical server with an ESXi OS installed in it. Virtual machine, a software computer. It's like a physical computer with Windows or Linux OS to run business applications. Web client, a browser which is used to connect to vCenter or directly to the ESXi machine. Okay. So group of all these components is called vSphere. It's called vSphere suite as well. Okay. Suite of all these products: vCenter, ESXi, virtual machine, and web client. Clear? These are the technical components under vSphere. It's just a product name. Name together, it's just a name. vSphere is just a name. All these components, these are the components that we use inside it, and just developed by this organization. Clear? Any other questions here?
Question.
Sir, web client nothing but an administrator, sir.
Yeah, the browser, web browser. Just Chrome. Chrome is a browser which we use to connect to vCenter. So that service is called web client. Browser, that's it. Here, web browser, right? So earlier, in the older version, web browser was not working with vCenter up to 5.0. Okay, there was a client we need to install, separate application we need to install on our laptop to connect to the vCenter. It was called vSphere client. Outdated a long back. vSphere client software we need to install in our laptop to connect to the vCenter. To remove that dependency, to install this client on all the machines from where you want to access the vCenter, they have removed this vSphere client, and only web browser, via web browser you can connect to vCenter. Web browser will be there in any of the common OS. You don't need to separately install any web browsers. At least Internet Explorer, Firefox or Chrome will be default web browsers used in any OS. Okay. So even with, if you don't want to install Chrome, we can manage with Internet Explorer also. To remove the dependency on vSphere client, they have introduced web client with web browser compatibility. Now, as I was saying, host and right, multiple times I have used host. You might have not aware what was that host. What is that term host? Okay. So, if someone like if your relatives comes to your house, you will become host because you are providing services to them. They will become your guest. Got it right? They are guest, and you will become host if some relatives comes to your house. Here also host means this ESXi server only. When I refer host, that means this complete physical server with ESXi operating system, because it is providing RAM and CPU services to the virtual machines. This is a host, this is a guest now. Guest means virtual machine. Host means ESXi server, guest means virtual machine. Guest OS means what is that? Where? Physical server or virtual machine?
VM, virtual.
Virtual machine, sir.
Yes, exactly. Guest OS means the OS installed inside a virtual machine, the virtual computers. Either maybe Windows here like this, Windows or Linux, or if there is any different OS like Mac OS, whatever it is. Okay, OS installed inside a virtual machine is called guest OS. Virtual machine is also called guest. ESXi host is also called host. Okay, but in regular in regular VMware words, I'm a VMware admin for some time. In day-to-day job, when I'm talking to my colleague or Windows admin, something like that. So I will call ESXi machine as a host, ESXi host or host. Okay, they will be able to understand. That means this physical server installed with ESXi host. And virtual machine, I will not call it as gold. I mean, people doesn't call it as guest, even though technically it's guest. We call it as VM only. Check that VM 45, check that VM 60, like that. In generic words, I mean, in generic usage, most of the cases, VMware administrator, we call VMs only. ESXi host, we call ESXi host. We people call it as host. We people will call it as like ESXi server. But guest OS, we refer guest OS only inside the virtual machine. So I will ask, like, what is the guest OS inside that virtual machine 45? Okay, what is the guest OS in VM 45? That means OS which is running inside this virtual machine. Okay, host, VM, guest OS. Is it clear now? Host and guest.
No. Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
vCenter we created in physical server, right, sir?
Yes.
Then
No,
vCenter
sorry.
also.
vCenter is installed on a virtual computer, virtual machine.
Okay.
It can be installed on physical machine also. Yeah, tell me your question. Sorry to interrupt. Like, tell me, complete your question, please.
vCenter is guest or host, sir?
Okay, vCenter is an application which is outside. It is not even guest or it is not even host. It's an application. Inside the guest OS, we install the applications. Okay, like SAP, websites like Flipkart, Amazon.in. Okay, our vCenter also like that. There are multiple VC unified communications application. vCenter is an application installed on a Windows or Linux guest OS. A guest OS లో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన అదొక అప్లికేషన్. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, one thing, sir.
Yes.
Like Ashok, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
earlier I think I might have missed something else. In VM, sir, in VM we installed OS also, sir. It's like a Windows or Linux also VM we install, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, that's called guest OS install in VM, right?
Correct. ఆ VMలో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన ఓఎస్ని గెస్ట్ ఓఎస్ అంటారు. కెన్ బి ఎనీథింగ్, విండోస్ ఆర్ లినక్స్, మ్యాక్ ఓఎస్, ఏదైనా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయొచ్చు.
Sir, what is cluster?
We will discuss later. We are too far away from clustering. Multiple ESXi హోస్ట్ని గ్రూప్ చేస్తాం. దట్స్ కాల్డ్ క్లస్టర్. ఈ హోస్ట్లు అన్నింటినీ ESX మెషిన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, వీటిని మళ్ళీ గ్రూప్ చేస్తాం. యూ గెట్ సమ్ బెనిఫిట్స్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ గ్రూపింగ్. దట్ గ్రూపింగ్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ క్లస్టరింగ్.
Okay, sir.
Clear? Any other questions?
No, sir.